And a council member tells me crime has gone down quite a bit in that area since they got rid of those internet cafes. This list right here was given to me by the city, a list of the internet cafes here in Jacksonville, around 220 that the city knows about. The city says there's more. Well, behind me here, this Sandalwood Cafe is one of 94 cafes that will soon have to close its doors after the mayor signs the bill. We're still working to confirm that with police, and the reason why I do believe that these are the patients, because all the nurses and doctors kind of congregated around those two ambulances that just arrived in the last few minutes. Two women, probably in their 50s or so, both wearing neck braces. One woman was holding her head. She looked visibly upset, and rightfully so, but nothing looked too serious. But in the last just few minutes, two ambulances arrived. And tonight I'm here at the St. Mary's Police Department, where the chief resigned in the last month or so. I'm told he took another job in northern Georgia. Now, while the department should have around 30 officers, there's only 18. So the county has been bringing in 2 to 3 of its deputies every weekend to help out. And we've been right there with firefighters all night until about 45 minutes ago. FHP had us move for safety reasons. We're now on US 17, and you can see in the distance, we're going to zoom in for you. You can actually see the fire, all those orange spots out there. Firefighters tell me it's spread into 5 sections. It's a tough job. It's a tougher job when you are not at full staff. St. Mary's Police Department is down 12 officers. The city manager tells me they should have 30, but are at 18. That's 40%.
That's crazy.
That's unreal.
Unreal.
And I'm very upset with that.
It's something Billy Holman, who has lived in St. Mary's all of his life, has noticed.
In the past 2 to 3 years, I have seen the numbers dwindle.
Despite being down, the city says response times are okay. The Camden County Sheriff's Office says it brings in 2 to 3 deputies every weekend to help out.
We need as many police officers as we can get.
Other local departments are also having the same problem, including Clay County. In February, the Sheriff's Office said it was down nearly 50 deputies. In September, Crescent City Police Department said it was down and only had 4 officers. But other Sheriff's Office, including Camden and St. John's, says it's at full staff. Back in St. Mary's, neighbors say they will feel more comfortable when they see more badges.
And we need to get them back somehow.
Now, coming up, a deeper look at why departments are having a hard time keeping officers. All new at 11. Reporting live in St. Mary's, Amber Kriska, Fox 30 Action News, Jack.
Amber, a new report by the CDC shows a majority of pregnancy-related deaths are preventable.
But for this mom, her friends tell me doctors are calling it rare and unpreventable. Her son, though, survived and is here at Wilson Children's Hospital, where he is now showing signs of improvement, and friends and family are by his side praying for a miracle.
I love you, Matthew. I love you, buddy.
Matthew Accurso is cherishing moments like this with his newborn son, his miracle baby.
You're doing so good. You're so strong.
Baby Matthew has been in the NICU at Wilson Children's Hospital for 12 days, fighting for his little life after his mom died in childbirth. But this week, he's making progress, and his dad got to hold him for the very first time. 37-year-old Lauren Accurso died after a rare medical complication while giving birth to baby Matthew. Just 3 days before her tragic death, I was inside her home interviewing her family after their home was struck by lightning during a storm. The mother of 3 little girls told me how excited she was to have her first boy.
Been singing worship songs over him, reading the Bible over him, speaking God's word over him, speaking life into him.
The couple's pastor, Matt McClowry, tells me while baby Matthew is getting stronger each day, there are still a lot of unknowns, but they are hoping for a miracle. A new report released by the CDC this week shows approximately 700 women die from pregnancy-related complications in the U.S. every year. The CDC says a majority of those deaths could have been prevented if women had access to better and more frequent care. But for Lauren, her family says doctors are calling it rare and unpreventable.
What's you dreaming about? Huh? You dreaming about mommy?
And a lot of thoughts and prayers with this family, especially tomorrow as Lauren will be laid to rest just one day before Mother's Day. Reporting live outside Wilson Children's Hospital, Amber Kriska, Action News, Jax.
And we're thinking of them.
And a council member tells me crime has gone down quite a bit in that area since they got rid of those internet cafes. This list right here was given to me by the city, a list of the internet cafes here in Jacksonville, around 220 that the city knows about. The city says there's more. Well, behind me here, this Sandalwood Cafe is one of 94 cafes that will soon have to close its doors after the mayor signs the bill.
He was robbed and murdered because of it.
Kimberly tells me she hates internet cafes after a robbery at one led to her neighbor's death. In January, police say Lawrence Hall robbed this Mayport cafe and then drove into a neighborhood and forced a man into his SUV and took off. About 8 miles away, Hall crashed the stolen SUV into a deputy's car. Kimberly's 84-year-old neighbor died a week later from his injuries.
You've got people coming from out of town. They're doing drugs, prostitution.
Councilman Al Ferrero has been working for a year to get internet cafes out of Jacksonville. He says not all, but many of them draw crime into the city. He tells me nearly 100 internet cafes that do not have a certificate of use are going to be closed immediately. For those with a COU, they will have 6 months to pull out any simulating gambling machines.
The simulated gambling machines, that was actually a draw. It was actually drawing people out from other parts of the state and other different counties.
In 2018, JSO told Action News Jax they received more than 28,000 calls to addresses tied to 100 cafes in the last 5 years. Kimberly says she doesn't want anyone else to get hurt.
I think it's nothing but crime.
And while council members supported that bill last night, I talked to Councilman Garrett Dennis over the phone tonight, and he said he had some concerns with it. He said there's going to be a lot of vacant buildings, and he's not sure what they're going to do with them. Reporting live in Sandalwood, Amber Kriskef, CBS 47 Fox 30, Action News Jax.